Okay, come on. Okay. So it's wet and cold out here, finally, I guess. And Chloe can't believe that I am wearing a jacket like this, but of course I'm still wearing, shorts like that because it's hard for me to not overheat pretty quickly. Anyway, she's excited because the whole world smells kind of wet and good. For both of us, it's kind of a nice smell. Anyway, we're gonna go up the hill and see what's going on up there. I got rid of the cherry tomatoes because there were 10,000 more and we're kind of sick of them at this point. But anyway, that's the story. And we'll see what we find. Okay, come on, kid. We're heading up the hill. And I was up here yesterday or the day before pulling all the cherry tomatoes out. Chloe likes to go first. This is kind of her role. She wants to be in front, which is fine with me. And yeah, this patch is interesting. There's a lot of sedge in here. And I discovered this yesterday. This thing here is beautiful. It's called a beautyberry, purple beautyberry. Unfortunately, it's non-native. So it must have escaped from a garden nearby. Kind of interesting where it is. So I'll find a spot for it in the actual garden. So it's not out here in the woods, since it is not native. And, we're trying to avoid that. So, let's see. I don't think there'll be much left up here. I want to check on two things. How the prairie perennials are doing. So they're over here. Yeah, it's just a little bit going on, not much. I forget who those guys are. So that's foxglove, and I don't remember what the blue flower is, but I'll look it up. Everybody else pretty much done, so that's fine. He'll be back next year. This is where I pulled all the tomatoes out. Oh, that's good. Still a few sitting on the ground, but I'll try to get them out of there so they don't sprout. That's mountain mint. That's a nice native. And then this will be the next garden. So I'm going to take down some of the bordering trees, especially over here where they're looming. They'll form the border for the garden. And then instead of fencing individual gardens, I'm going to fence the whole thing and see what I get. This is the milkweed patch. So we're going to leave this alone. This wasn't our year for, this was not our year for monarchs, but look at these. This is called the large milkweed bug. Clearly the eggs have just sprouted because there's tons of them. They get to be about ½ an inch long, so these are quite on the small side, except for that adult that's checking on the brood. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure what else is up here. I'll look around a little bit. Some late pollinators on one of the goldenrod species. I don't know which one this is. There's a whole bunch of them. They bloom at slightly different times. The tall Canada goldenrod is pretty much, I think, done. So I don't know what this is. They all look the same to me. Anyway, it's nice to see a little pollination going on. It's kind of cute. It's like I temporarily lost the dog, but she'll show up when she realizes I'm not around. So I'm going to go back down. I want to check Let me check on a couple things real quick. Oh, here she comes. Let me check on a couple things real quick and highlight them. I think is pickweed, tiny little flower, but it still pulls in pollinators, and it's blooming late, September, whatever, 21st. Ferns that didn't dry out are still green. Most of them succumbed to the drought, so that was a bummer. So that tickweed is nice, but it doesn't hold really a candle to a proper aster. So this is a wild. This is a native. This is called. What is it called? Whitewood aster. This comes on late. I like it here. It's spreading, which is good. Had trouble with the rabbits early on in the season, but right now it's spreading. I'm going to try to keep it protected. It's a nice plant. There's another one over here that I like a lot. It's in there, another fern. Gets its own label. It's Christmas fern. They'll stay green. It'll stay green, well, like the name says, it'll stay green through most of the winter. And it's doing really well. It's starting to spread. Keeping this indeterminate fern, which is the ones that are all browned out, keeping them out of that patch, because otherwise they'll take over. And a couple other plants on this path that I kind of like. There's a native yew right here, quite big. I like it. You don't see them very often, so that's pretty cool. And then there's this guy. I don't know what he's going to do. I was protecting him because the deer were eating him. It's a swamp laurel. I have not seen him bloom yet. He's starting to spread, so the protection, well, maybe it's not big enough, but it seems to be working. But I've yet to see it bloom, so that'll be the next step at that point. Figure out what kind of flower it's going to bring. I have mixed feelings about. This is like a veil of, it's a veil of whatever this tree is called. I can't remember. It's got herbal uses. It's witch hazel. That's what it is. This is all witch hazel. Grows like crazy. I put in some river birch here. I hope they're doing all right. They're in these cages to keep the deer off them. And until they get about 6 feet tall all around, and they're gonna have to stay in the cages. But a plant I put in that's doing real well and doesn't seem to be affected by pests. There's these little blue stems. This grass is called little blue stem. It's a native, prairie native. Used to be widespread even in New England when we had more. We had sort of more open uplands, meadow uplands. It was a beautiful grass. I'm trying to encourage it to grow as opposed to all of the escape grass from the lawn. And then there's one more. This native is kind of special. It blooms real late. End of August through September until the frost. This is called a world loosestrife. It's a native. It just happened to pop up here, and I figured out what it was, and now I'm actively, not cutting it back. As you can see, it's well loved at this time of year. So I love this plant. I want to look up what its ideal conditions are. There's a lot of it, so I think I can move some into the proper perennial border if it can take the sun. I don't know yet. We'll check. Hydrangea popped up on their own. I don't know if there's a wild hydrangea here or if these are from prior gardens. This doesn't look anything like the planted hydrangeas, which are more like this one. So this was here when we bought the house. It's quite a different look to it. And then we have a couple in the front, again, with very different looks to them. Those are over here on the other side of the truck. And there's the dog. as usual. Come on, dog. Let's go. So this is little. This is called little green gem. It is quite green when it first blooms. They all turn this color in the end, but you can see some of the green here on the fresher blooms. It's really a very green flower at the beginning, which is nice. And this is your classic, acidic blue hydrangea. And I think there's one example left of this. Yeah, here it is. So that's the flower before it turns. This is a nice flower. It's getting quite big. It's actually huge. There's 3 of them. Anyway, that's about all that's left of interest. Everything else is droughted out, bloomed out, dried out, and ready to be cut back until next year. And of course, say hi. Yeah, say hi. Good girl. Camera shy. It didn't take me long to lose a jacket. The sun came out of it. So now it's warm.